The diplomatic hall of the Galactic Council gleamed with crystalline architecture that bent light into impossible colors. Evan pushed his maintenance cart through the corridor, his worn jumpsuit a stark contrast to the shimmering robes of the delegates who barely noticed him. For 3 years he had cleaned these halls, invisible to the powerful beings who shaped the fate of worlds. He was just a janitor, nothing more. "Excuse me, human." Evan turned to find himself face to face with the most striking being he had ever seen. She stood nearly 7 feet tall, her scales shimmering between deep crimson and gold. Her eyes, vertical-slitted and amber, regarded him with an intensity that made him want to shrink away. A Draconian, one of the ancient warrior race that had conquered half the known galaxy before joining the Council. "Yes, ma'am," Evan managed, gripping his mop a little tighter. "I am Sarathra, newly appointed ambassador of the Draconian Imperium." She bowed slightly, a gesture of respect that shocked him. Ambassadors didn't bow to janitors. "I require your assistance with a matter of great importance." Evan glanced around, certain she must be talking to someone else. "Me? I know who you are, Evan Chen. The human who has worked in these halls longer than any other member of your species. The one who knows every corner, every secret passage, every hidden room." Her voice dropped lower. "I need someone I can trust. Someone the other ambassadors underestimate." 20 minutes later, Evan found himself in Sarathra's private quarters, staring at a holographic display that showed a complex web of financial transactions, military movements, and encrypted communications. "There is a conspiracy," Sarathra explained, her clawed finger tracing connections between several council members. "The Velcrin Consortium plans to sabotage the upcoming treaty negotiations. If they succeed, it will mean war across 12 sectors. Billions will die." Evan's throat went dry. "Why are you telling me this? Why not go to the Council security?" "Because 3 of the 5 security directors are part of the conspiracy." Sarathra's eyes met his. "I have been investigating for months, but I am watched constantly. Every move I make is monitored. But you," she gestured at his jumpsuit, "you are invisible to them. You move through these halls like air itself." "I don't understand what you want me to do." Sarathra pulled up another display, a schematic of the Council's central data vault. "In 3 days, the Velcrin will attempt to access the vault and destroy evidence of their weapons stockpiling. I need proof of their illegal armaments before they can erase it. But the vault is impenetrable. The security systems are designed by the architects themselves, impossible to bypass. Then how? By not bypassing them at all." Sarathra smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "The vault has a maintenance access, a small passage used by cleaning drones to service the air filtration systems. Too small for any council species to fit through." Evan looked down at his human frame, compact, flexible, built for a world with heavy gravity. But not too small for a human. Precisely. The next 72 hours were the most intense of Evan's life. Sarathra taught him how to use draconian data extraction devices, how to move through the maintenance tunnels without triggering motion sensors, how to identify the specific files they needed. She treated him not as a servant but as an equal, a partner in a mission that could prevent a galactic war. On the 3rd night, Evan squeezed through the narrow maintenance shaft, his heart hammering against his ribs. The vault hummed below him, protected by energy shields that could vaporize a battleship. But the maintenance access was unshielded. After all, who would think to protect against a cleaning passage? Humans, as it turned out. Humans thought that way. He dropped silently into the vault, attached Sarathra's device to the central data core, and began the download. Files poured into the drive. Weapons manifests, secret communications, evidence of planned assassinations. Everything they needed. Alarms suddenly blared. Evan's blood turned to ice. "Movement detected in Sector 7, a mechanical voice announced. Security responding." He had 90 seconds before the guards arrived. The download was only at 70%. Evan's hand shook as he watched the progress bar crawl forward. 80%. Footsteps echoed in the corridor outside. 90%. The vault door began to open. 100%. He yanked the device free, scrambled back into the maintenance shaft, and pulled the grate closed just as 4 Velcrin guards burst into the vault. From his hiding spot, Evan held his breath as they searched below, their rifle-like appendages sweeping the empty room. "False alarm," one growled. "The sensors are malfunctioning again." The next morning, Sarathra presented the evidence to the full council. The Velcrin consortium was exposed, their leadership arrested, and the treaty negotiations proceeded without sabotage. Peace was preserved. At the ceremony honoring her achievement, Sarathra did something unprecedented. She called Evan to the stage. The other species of this galaxy have long dismissed humanity, she announced to the assembled delegates. They see you as weak, as insignificant, as worthy only of menial labor. But I have learned something these past weeks. Humans possess qualities that we so-called great species have forgotten. She turned to Evan, placing a clawed hand on his shoulder. You are adaptable, able to fit into spaces we cannot. You are underestimated, able to move unseen through places we are watched. You are courageous, willing to risk everything for people you have never met. And perhaps most importantly, you are humble. You do not demand recognition for your worth. Sarathra bowed deeply, and one by one the other ambassadors followed suit. Hundreds of the galaxy's most powerful beings bowing to a human janitor. I propose, Sarathra continued, that humanity be granted full council membership, not as a client species but as equals. They have earned their place among the stars. The vote was unanimous. As Evan stood on that stage, overwhelmed and humbled, he realized something profound. He had spent years believing he was just a janitor, just a small person in a vast galaxy. But Sarathra had seen what he couldn't see in himself. That greatness isn't measured by physical strength or political power. Sometimes, the smallest person in the room can save the world. And sometimes, being underestimated is humanity's greatest advantage.